Mr. Rice, how are you doing today?
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I've got to tell you, New Rogers has a teething problem. Specifically, Dragon's Tooth. Somebody has installed 50 to 60, 2 to 3 foot stone rocks next to Wickham Road, and they're a problem. They're opposite the main entrance of New Rogers, and they keep people from pulling off the road. The only useful purpose I see in them, they keep people off the new grass. That's the only reason. They have many, causing many problems. They force pedestrians out onto Wickham, which is not very wide, and they push people into the road. They're narrowing Wickham Road rather than, and making it unsafe, or less safe. And I see no reason for continuing those rocks there. A bunch of traffic stopping in that area, kids running across the main entrance, across the lawn, into parked cars waiting. And they have to wait in the middle of the road. There's no place for them to pull off. So you're causing problems that are only going to get worse as it gets darker. The lighting there is terrible. It's an unsafe situation, and I don't see anything other than protecting the grass. I see no use for it at all. So I think they ought to be removed as soon as possible. And I think it'd be safer for cars, safer for pedestrians. A lot of walkers on Wickham and Ruggles, and a lot of dog walkers especially, and bike riders. And you're just narrowing, these rocks just narrow the road. They aren't any help at all. They don't do much good for cars if you pull off the road either.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, before we move on, I'd like to make a motion to move number 22, authorizing the placement of public health vending machine program to in conjunction with number 8 or after number 8. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the consent calendar in its entirety with the exception of number 1 and 4 and C, sorry,
And 6.
and 6.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin.
may we please add B6?
Yes,
Yep,
and
that's
6, yes.
Right, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion to withdraw the application for Newport Global Summit, doing business as Newport Global Summit, Belcourt, August 19th, 2026, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve Tully Banta Kane, doing business as Newport Beach Fest, Fort Adams State Park, September 5th through the 6th, 2026, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin.
Chairman, thank you. Is the applicant here this evening?
Yes.
Mhm.
You want to have him come
Can
up?
we hear from the applicant?
Yeah. Just come up to the podium, please. Just state your names and addresses, please.
Eric Darko, I'm at 462 Main Street. And Tully Banta Kane, 1 Daniel Street, Newport.
Any questions?
Sure. I appreciate you telling us who you are and where you live, but I'd like to hear, please, for the sake of my colleagues and the public, what are you seeking to do? Thanks.
Yep, so I'll answer that. I'm a former New England Patriot that started in retirement the BFL, the first professional beach football league played on sand. It's a community event where we do youth activation to start the day that then segues into adult flag and tackle games. This event will be an installation at Fort Adams where we'll bring out 1,000 tons of sand at the fort on the front north lawn. We'll have a list of activations from food vendors. The National Guard has partnered to do a flyover, a military obstacle course, and a rock climbing wall, also featuring boys and girls flag and men's and women's football on the beach for 2 days.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Deputy Manager Carullo, or anybody from the administration who would like to answer. Let me preface my question by saying that we received as a council from the city clerk today a communication from you, from the organization, which said that you intended to do a number of things, not the least of which is to communicate with the abutters and the neighbors in the area, which is, by the way, for your understanding, a ward, or the ward that I represent, as do 4 of my colleagues who represent the city at large. I also understand that from the letter, that it is your intent to secure what could be determined as necessary police detail, or maybe it's unnecessary police detail. So I'd like, having asked the deputy city manager earlier, for anybody from the administration to let us know what kind of communication did you receive from the applicants prior to just a few hours ago when the city clerk notified my colleagues and I that this would be happening. In other words, you know, and gentlemen, forgive me because I'm sure this is the first time you've done business in Newport, but you know, generally speaking, we like to hear about these things and your intentions well before a few hours prior to the start of the meeting. So with that.
Right. The city was, myself, I was in contact with DEM Parks when the license application first surfaced here at the city. Couple of immediate concerns that we reached out to the applicant to address. One of them was the number of attendees, 5,000, and 700 vehicles was listed on the application. So we reached out to Parks and the applicant and discussed whether or not that was a max threshold or whether that was an actual expectation for the event. That was a maximum threshold. Again, the 5,000 is inclusive of 2 days of activity at the park, as well as the fact that the majority, or at least half of those individuals present, will be actually children or younger age adults, younger children participating in the activities for those 2 days. So once we realized that, got that information, we also inquired as to police details and support services from the city and the impact it would have on the city. And we, after consultation with the police department, determined that the DEM and the applicant had made the necessary arrangements for adequate support from the Newport Police Department, as well as environmental police officers within the fort to support the event. So in addition to that, when those conversations began, the applicant was communicated with to address the notices for neighbors and residents in the South End, at which time they did come up with this letter. We reviewed the letter and asked the clerk to add it to the agenda today. So the letter was received today, but communications with the applicant and DEM, for that matter, have been ongoing for a couple of weeks now.
Thank you, Mr. Carullo. Is there any reason why the members of the council are hearing about this for the first time via your explanation now. As the ward representative, as the ward counselor for the area, I had been told about concerns regarding this event, not the least of which is the total amount that you described, notwithstanding the explanation regarding children. Is there a reason why the members of the council have not heard about this and what you described or what you explained regarding the background until this very moment? I mean, the council is, we are not secondary observers in the running of government. Could somebody please explain that to me?
I guess I can make a quick note on
I'm
that.
sorry, my friend. I apologize. That's a question directly to the city administration.
Actually, if I could look at the application date. August 3rd. Yes, the application, the date on the application was submitted on August 3rd. It was first brought to my attention upon review of the docket, or in communications with DEM, subsequent to a second meeting that we were having with them regarding special event licenses for other matters, and that's when this was brought to our attention. It was a matter of preparation and making sure that the applicant was doing what we believe was necessary for them to adequately satisfy previous requirements from council on other similar applications and events out of the fort. So that was sitting with myself and my office and DEM in communications with the applicant, and we were merely preparing to make sure that we were adequately providing you with the information you needed to make an informed decision this evening.
So thank you, Mr. Carullo. The application was received August 3rd. Under normal circumstances, with the meeting scheduled for tonight of August 12th, what is the absolute drop-dead deadline? Well, I should back up, not the drop-dead deadline. Under normal circumstances, when we print the agenda for a council meeting, we print that agenda 7 days ahead of the meeting, correct?
Correct.
So we would get the agenda submitted to the Secretary of State and distributed to the public by presumably August 5th.
Last Wednesday.
And the application came in on August 3rd.
Correct.
Is that what you would expect from an applicant who wants to bring 5,000 people into the city?
That's when the application was received. Again, I can tell you that I was aware that the event was coming through DEM, but the application was received by the city on the 3rd.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if I might, is it typical for you to receive an application promoting an event which the council would vote on 2 days later? Or, I'm sorry, which application would be on an agenda that the council will vote on in which there's a 2-day difference between when the application was submitted and when the agenda is printed?
Unfortunately, it happens. And if they meet the deadline and they have permission from the property owner to have the event, then we put it on the agenda. At the same time, departments are notified. I can tell you that you're just raising a larger issue that we're aware of, and that is what's a reasonable lead time for an application to be submitted to the city for approval before the actual event happens.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk, Deputy City Manager, back to you, gentlemen. Thank you. On the website describing the event, I see that it describes alcohol being served at the event. I do not see anywhere on the council's agenda this evening a request for service of alcoholic beverages. Do you, Madam Clerk, know of any such requests made by the applicants?
Well, actually, on the application, they have listed Newport Craft Brewery for another license to be used, and I believe they have a Class P, if I'm not mistaken.
So, if I might, when the council adjourns as council and moves to Board of License Commissioners, should that not be included in the agenda for the Board of License Commissioners? Or is that simply permissible as a part of this permit or as a part of this application process?
It would be permissible because the Class P license holder is the
So-
one that is responsible.
So
and they're
with the
licensed by
permit
the
given
state.
for the event, an alcoholic beverage Class P permit would be acceptable.
For a special event, yes.
Okay. Let me say, gentlemen, I appreciate you and thank you. I'm very disappointed with the immediacy apparently of the application, but with the lack of notice to the council. And I would suggest that more of that blame lies with the administration than it does with you all, having never been through this process before. But we certainly should be receiving much better notice. I am very disappointed that my constituents will not receive notice of this event and the possible permitting of this event until after this council permits or does not permit the event. And let me also say that there have been very significant concerns of abutters and more than just abutters, folks as far out, and I don't expect you all to know this, but the administration certainly does, and my colleagues certainly do, or residents as far out as a half mile away from the fort who are affected by a massive amount of traffic, noise, nuisance, and much more. So I'll stop at that, but I am going to vote against this permit. And I would suggest that my colleagues on the council also reject this permit request. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Do we have, yes,
Thank you.
Council Bennett.
Hi, guys. I actually did know about your event. You guys ended up on my FYP. So I've known about it for a couple weeks. So I think it's a great event. How did you go about recruiting the young people that will be part of or could be part of your event?
Yeah, every event, and let me just say that we have been working on this event for a number of years now. It had an approval process through the Fort, state, and the DEM before we brought it to the city. And once we got approved through the Fort, then we were able to bring it to the city, and not vice versa. Or,
Yeah.
you know. But I would say about the youth component, we work with local Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCA, to promote the event. We work with the Patriots Foundation to support the event. So it's a lot of social media, mixed press media, that it's a free event for kids. And so the idea is that, you know, for local kids or for kids abroad, they have an opportunity to come through and get coached up by former NFL players and local coaches. And we have the partnership with Rogers High School. We met with their AD, we met with their head coach to have the high school team come out, considering what they have some scrutiny around the program from what happened last year. So it's just a positive light that we're trying to highlight for the local kids, the local programs.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Someone that continuously advocates for more recreation for our kids in this community. I think it's a great event. And I appreciate you including our local kids in it because they could use it. Summer's almost over. So they'll be looking for something to do. And I think this will bring a lot of excitement to them. So thank you very much for.
Yep, Council Sai.
Solly, thanks for coming in with this proposal and for choosing Newport. I know that I talked to one of my good friends, now Mayor DeToy of Hermosa Beach, and they have given incredibly positive feedback about what a community positive, family positive event it is in the beach football. So we're looking forward to that being here in Newport. Thanks.
Mr. Chairman.
Council Palatano.
Yeah, I do believe we received information from Mr. Carrillo earlier in terms of what was expected. We just had a ton of people here. and they have reduced the numbers. I understand that and everything. You know, it sounds like a wonderful event, the type of thing that we would want to have. As far as if you don't get your docket or you don't look through your docket when it comes out, you know, if I had questioned anything, I'd question I call ahead of time. You know, it puts you guys in an awkward position having to defend bringing a nice event to Newport. I fully support it.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin,
thank you. Hearing, as Councilor Pinnock said, and as you have emphasized, that this is a youth-friendly event, would you have any concern, any problems with removing the alcohol portion of the event?
The only component around alcohol is that it does help offset the cost. Typically, alcohol is in a 21 plus sectioned off area for the parents or for any adults that are on location. And it's a daytime event. And I know that the number 5,000 is alarming. However, we've never had 5,000 people at any of our events. That was the cap that we were given, considering Folk and Jazz has 10,000 people. We were actually shocked that we were given that many people as a capacity. I don't imagine we would have close to half of that, but the alcohol component is based around sponsorship to help offset the cost, and to give another adult component element to the event as it is a festival. But we wouldn't be completely opposed to it. However, we would have to go back on our sponsorships that have supported the event.
How much money do you need absent the alcohol portion of the event to
Well-
make it successful?
Well, it's around $20,000 for the standalone, and the removal is around 30,000, so around 50,000 plus the fort rental, which is north of 30,000. So
How much, pardon me, I'm sorry for interrupting. How much of the total event proceeds, with respect to what you just said, does the alcohol sale represent towards your ensuring a
it could be
successful event?
significant. Sorry, I'll let you finish. It could
No,
be
that's okay.
significant
Yeah.
based around the amount of people that actually purchase, plus the sponsorship cash and component of that. In the past, it has helped subsequently be around 20% or more of the offset for sponsorship. So we have other sponsors like hydration, apparel, and then a lot of in-kind sponsorship. So the alcohol component definitely does, supplement a lot of our offset, especially this is a rental event. This is not at a beach. Typically, we do our events on beaches, but because of the uniqueness of the fort and the other successful events that happen there, we landed on the fort as a project that was worth after.
Appreciate the answers. Last question. Other than incidental fees you pay to the city, or what you might pay to the state, whether it's incidental or not, are there any costs that the state or the city of Newport are charging you to put on this event?
Yeah, well, the rental itself, and then we have police detail.
I'm sorry, who are you renting from?
Fort Adams
Okay, from the state of Rhode Island.
from the state of Rhode
Okay.
Island. And then police detail.
As far as the city of Newport, are we charging you anything?
There's an hourly rate for police detail, yes.
Understood, everybody does that.
Yep.
Other than that,
On whatever the fees are associated to the permit,
so just the incidental licensing fees that I mentioned.
correct?
Thank you very much.
Vendor fees, things like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. Council Smythe, do you have a question?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you. This sounds like a great event. I think anything that we can do to bring sports to our youth and give them something positive to engage in. So thank you. I think this is great and I'm happy to support it.
Thank you.
Council Segley, any questions? Good.
I'm in full support.
All right. Just a couple quick questions. You've done this before numerous times, right? About what's the attendance normally that you've dealt with?
I'd say the average attendance is around 700 plus people, 600 plus people. We've done events on beaches that naturally have a higher attendance because from a natural public traffic. But because this is more of an isolated ticketed event, we're expecting, hopefully with the NFL Patriots fandom out here, it could be north of 2,000, but we're at an average of less than 1,000 people per event.
Okay. And then obviously, there is a number of kids and the timing of it is it's a holiday weekend. So I think it should be a good turnout for you. At least I hope it is. Is this something you're looking to do in the future as well? Like make it an annual event?
Absolutely.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
Good.
folk, jazz, and beach fest.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good. All right. Yeah, I guess my last question is, do you have a barber that I could borrow, or do you guys have anyone that? Because I'm watching
We
guys
got
up there.
the.
Without any further questions, we'll go to a vote. So all those in favor of this fest, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Got 6-1. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to appoint Charles Ridolph, Foreman, Parks, Grounds, and Forestry as the official tree warden for 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I asked this to be pulled because I just want to have a great welcome for Charlie. I know you're sitting over there on the side, and I know you're not a big public speaker or anything, but we know and you know you have big shoes to fill, and we're looking forward to you doing a great job, and hopefully 32 years as well, following in Scott Wheeler's footsteps. So thank you so much for stepping in, and any help you need, we're here for you. Thank you, Charlie. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Under licenses and permits, special event license, road races and events doing business as Newport Road Races, Easton's Beach, April 17th, 2027, from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I need to recuse.
Yes. Motion to approve an entertainment license, New Gardner House, LP.
Second.
Doing business
It's a
as Gardner House 24 Lee's Wharf to have indoor entertainment Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. and outdoors deck and lawn area Sunday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday preceding a holiday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. This is a first hearing, Mr. Vice
Second.
Chair. Any discussion?
Madam Chair, I seconded that immediately because, as Councilor Napolitano said earlier, we could see the docket earlier, so rather than you going through that, but for the courtesy of Mayor Holder, I wanted to get this done fast. Thank
Okay, does anyone else have any discussion? No, all in favor? Yes. Oh, okay, thank you. Would you like to come up, Mr. Martland?
Yes, good evening, councilors. David Martland on behalf of the applicant, Gardner House LP. This is basically the same entertainment license that was issued, I think, 3 years ago, connecting with the Gardner Hotel. Same hours of operation. There's been a change of entity, still the same ownership, but this requires a new license. We're not seeking anything in addition to what exists presently. It is the same entertainment license, same hour restrictions, same day restrictions. And I'm here to answer any questions. I would note that during the time of the operation, there haven't been any noise violations, noise complaints, or any other issues that have been provided as a notice of violation of any sort with respect to it.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak on this application? Yes.
Good evening. Hi, I'm a resident David View. I live at Vanderbilt property adjacent to the hotel. All I want to say is that when that property was being considered for a permit to build the hotel, a number of us, and me included, sat directly with the owner of the property and talked about that. Concern we had was loud noise. We've been there for a number of years. We enjoy it. Frankly, it's a very pleasant place to live. And concern was that we would end up with, like the Reef and some other places, loud disruptive noise. You can't sit out on your deck, talk to each other because of the sound. I know it's a big concern in the community that people have on the waterfront. I love the fact that we have hotels and restaurants and it's going very well and things are great. I'm happy, but that was not a hotel until it was permitted to be so. And in the discussion I had with the owner at the time was directly concerned about this single issue, nothing else. And I was given clear communication that this was going to be a 25-room boutique hotel with no such noise and no such requirement for these events. So based on that communication, and at the time, I can assure you, there was no plan to be a wedding factory. I think what's happened in the property has evolved with learning about being in business and what they feel is best for business. But there is a limit. And putting bands outdoors and playing rock music at time adjacent to residential communities is just out of line. And we have been there a lot longer. This is a 20-year-old property. We've been there before that was in existence. They agreed not to do it. And I find it offensive, frankly, to come back now at this point in time and say, hey, we're going to start putting loud music adjacent to where you sit and have dinner. It's not right. And I hope the council can agree with that and we find a way to put this thing behind us. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comment? Anyone on the council? You ready to vote?
No, sorry, I do have
Okay.
a question for the first gentleman that came up. You did say earlier that nothing has changed, that this is just the same license and you will just be operating the same way that you've been operating, but the gentleman earlier just said that there hasn't been any outdoor music.
That's not accurate.
So you've always had outdoor music?
Yes, ever since the entertainment license has been issued, it was for both indoor and outdoor music. That was, it's actually part of the license and printed on the license, and that has been the situation. There was never any agreement not to have music. I've been involved in this project since, I believe, 2017, when we began to look at this property and develop plans. Finally got applications submitted and ended in 2019, and COVID delayed things, but at no point were there any conditions or any agreements to say that there wouldn't be entertainment.
What is the impetus for bringing this forward now?
There's a change of the entity that would be holding the license.
Okay, what was the entity? I mean, the name of the entity or
Well,
the?
there was the entity was originally Bloody Bull LLC.
Right, okay, yeah,
And this is Gardner House.
got it.
Oh, I see it.
Different.
Okay,
entity
it's
structure.
the same location, it's just a
Same
different name.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Di?
Just to verify with city administration, so consistent license, no change in licensure. There have been 0 reported problems regarding noise or other complaints that would be in line with this entertainment license. Is what Mr. Martland stated accurate?
That's correct as far as we're aware, yes.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
All in favor, all ready to vote? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Please raise your right. Okay. All against?
We're good.
Excuse me,
It's
Madam Chair.
unanimous.
Madam Chair, it's a public hearing,
Oh,
so you just have to close.
motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right,
Second.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, motion to approve an entertainment license, new Midtown Race Club LLC, doing business as Midtown Race Club, 255 Thames Street, to have indoor entertainment daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. and outdoors from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Sundays through Thursdays, and until midnight on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays before holidays. This is a first reading.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak at this hearing?
Scott representing the factors.
If you must.
I must, yes.
You good?
Do you have any questions?
I don't have anything to say.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Yeah, anyone else from the public? No? All right, so all those in favor of the entertainment license on the first hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve an entertainment license expansion 24 Memorial Opco LLC, doing business as Joe's American Bistro, 24 Memorial Boulevard West, to expand indoor entertainment by increasing the hours on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, this is a first hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. Anyone from the public that wishes to say anything? Any comment?
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin?
Is the applicant here? Good enough, good enough. Just don't like the council being taken advantage of.
And if there's no anyone from the public, then any questions on the
Motion,
council?
well then motion to close the public hearing and approve.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve a vittling license renewal, NDC Enterprises LLC, doing business as Norries, 156 to 158 Broadway.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have one reappointment to Board and Commission for the Juvenile Hearing Board. We have Margaret Peggy Magner to a 3-year term expiring 3/8/2029. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we'll go
Okay,
to recommendations,
sure.
8, and then the resolution too. So we'll do the memorandum first. and then
Yeah,
the resolution.
okay, all right, thank you. Under communications from the city manager, motion to receive a memorandum from the city manager, transmittal of memorandum from the fire chief in regard to the proposed location for the Newport Prevention Coalition Harm Reduction vending machine.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of accepting the memorandum, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Next, we will hear the resolution, I believe, Counselor Smythe, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'll just read the resolve. Resolve that the city council authorizes the placement of the machine at the Newport Fire Department located on West Marlborough Street, and be it further resolved that city administration shall work with the partners listed above to oversee the installation, stocking of public health care products, maintenance, and operation of the vending machine. And be it further resolved that approximately 1 year following the installation, that the city administration shall report to the city council on the program's implementation and effectiveness, including usage data obtained through NPC and ACOS, operational consideration, and recommendations regarding the continuation of the program. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Council Carlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am strongly opposed to this in its current form and in the previous form, which I voted against, which was the resolution not identifying a location, but in concept approving or giving approval by the city of Newport to having such a vending machine, if we can call it that, here in Newport. This is not a vending machine that disperses juice boxes or that disperses Snickers bars. Let's be very clear about what we're doing here. And by the way, if this is such an important idea, the city of Newport, the residents of Newport, or for anybody, to have such a vending machine or to have such a machine available, why doesn't Middletown do it? Why doesn't Portsmouth do it? Why doesn't Jamestown do it? Why doesn't Tiverton do it? Why doesn't Little Compton do it? If we want to go out further in the East Bay, why doesn't Warren do it? Why doesn't Bristol do it? Why doesn't Barrington do it? I'll tell you who does it. The city of San Francisco does this. The city of Detroit does this. What will happen when we give our approval and loan city property for the location of this machine is that we would welcome, and it's unfortunate that bad behavior exists in this world, in this state, certainly in this city. All of us have committed bad behavior. It's very unfortunate that bad behavior exists, but I don't want to put up a giant sign saying, welcome with your bad behavior. And I'll be as blunt as I need to be, just like I was 2 seconds ago when I said that, because that's what we're doing. We're welcoming bad behavior, and we are giving those who commit bad behavior. If they need help, we will give them help, but in manners other than what is before us tonight. We are welcoming bad behavior by allowing the Newport Fire Department to loan out its physical location to such a machine. This is wrong. And frankly, I can't wait for this to become an issue in the city election. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Chairman,
Counselor Smythe?
we've already discussed this. This was presented months ago as a public health vending machine to assist those in need. We are not supplying alcohol in the machine, drugs in the machine, etc. We have discussed this, we have debated it, and the council majority approved it. I think it's irresponsible to be connecting this to an election as a way of deterring votes. The fire department chief has been working with the Newport Prevention Coalition and ACOS to determine the location. Our subject matter experts in this field have determined the location. Having the machine in the city is irrelevant at this point because it's already been approved. So at this point in time, we're just approving the location. Thank you.
Counselor
Chair?
Napolitano?
yeah, just for your awareness, personal hygiene items, health essentials, first aid kits, Band-Aids, antiseptic wipes, cold weather and comfort items, socks, gloves, blankets, scarves, harm reduction tools, Narcan, a life-saving medication to reverse opioid overdose, fentanyl testing strips to help individuals test substance for presence of fentanyl, reducing overdose, and educational materials. I see nothing wrong with educating the public with the need for this. And I certainly thank the fire department for their willingness to have this machine where they can keep an eye on it and they know what's going on. But when somebody is in desperation not to have something like this, I think shame on us.
Counselor Pennant?
Thank you. Yeah, I second Councilor Smythe and Councilor Napolitano. Thank you to the Newport Prevention Coalition for your hard work on this effort. I would just, first of all, if us voting for something to help mitigate harm from our residents costs votes, take them. Because I'm not up here for that. I'm up here to do a service to my community, and I believe that this is a service to my community as someone who is in the trenches all the time, in soup kitchens, working with kids, working with our in-house residents, working with our vulnerable populations who are unsheltered in a variety of ways. There is a need for this. And if there wasn't, we wouldn't be having the discussion here. There's a reason why Newport is the location for this. And special thanks to Harp and our Newport Fire Department, not just for this, but for the situation table and for the hard work that you do in our community, trying to make sure our residents are safe outside of the realm of fires and regular disasters. So I appreciate it. I supported it then. I support it now. I'll support it 10 years from now, whether I'm on this dais or wherever, doesn't matter. We have a job to protect our residents, and that means all of our residents. That's not just our residents who have homes and jobs and, food and all of the necessities. It's every single person that is on the streets in Newport. They deserve protection. They deserve to know that they have counselors and a community that cares about them. And they deserve to know that they matter. And I'm perfectly happy to support it now as I supported it originally. So I'm okay with it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Counselor Segley?
I'm, of course, going to support this as well. I remember from previous conversations that you have to be part of a group, right? And then you have a special code or something that you swipe the machine. And it's not just anyone can go and get these items. They have to be part of a program, correct? Okay. I'm fine. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, Counselor Carlin?
thank you. and appreciate my colleagues for their comments. Three questions. One for you, Mr. Chairman. Councilor Smythe, for whatever reason, after I spoke, referenced this will not be stocked with alcohol. Mr. Chairman, did I miss something? Did I mention an objection to this because it would be stocked with alcohol?
Not to my recollection, no.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, can I call up the chief of the fire and the chief of the police department, please?
If they so like.
Good evening, Mark Donnelly, Fire Chief, City of Newport.
Thank you, Chief Donnelly. Chief, do you have a supply of available Narcan, I should say, at all fire stations located in the city of Newport?
We do.
Thank you. Chief Duffy, do you have a supply of Narcan available at the police department headquarters here in Newport?
We do.
Thank you, Thank you, chiefs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. While the chiefs are up, anybody have any questions for them? Just so
I do, if that's
yes,
okay.
go ahead, Councilor.
To Chief Duffy and Fire Chief Harp Donnelly, how often do people knock on the fire station door or the police department door for Narcan?
For Narcan?
Yeah.
I don't recall a time that it's not.
Right, because there's usually a stigma attached to it, or people are afraid that they're going to face consequences for whether it's for them or for someone else. So I'm not the expert here, but I'm as someone who has had to use Narcan to revive a young person. I understand the importance of it, but I also know that people don't typically come to law enforcement or public safety looking for it. So, thank you.
Thank you, chiefs. Question for administration. Has it been decided yet what is exactly going to be carried in the vending machines? I know there's a list of possible items.
The precise item list has not been determined yet. We also have to work a license agreement with Newport County Prevention Coalition, just to make sure that the location is insured. We won't have any cost affixed to it, but we do have to do a license agreement.
Yeah.
So some of these things will still get worked out. This is just to declare support for the location.
Thank you. Yeah, when this first came around, I voted against this as well. Just because I feel, depending on what is going to be in the machine, kind of gives the wrong impression for people. And I'm not talking just people coming into Newport. I'm talking residents. I'm talking people that need these supplies as well. My concern is having like a Narcan in there, having fentanyl strips. We all know what that's for and what they do. And I don't want to seem like we are encouraging that use and that behavior. You see it in the streets now. You see it all over the place. So I'd rather use something to get more to the root of the problem and continue trying to fight these issues, fight these abuse issues, the substance abuse especially. Now, if we're talking things for the homeless, we're talking socks, gloves, blankets, etc., first aid items. We're talking, undergarments, whatever it is. Then why do we need a vending machine for that? Let's just we can put those out anywhere, make supplies readily available. I have no problem with that at all. My problem is with, what I'll just call anything that has anything to do with drug use. I think we need to be very careful with a program like this and allowing this to happen because, I know there are some studies and some research that says it helps the situation, but there's also those same studies that show it's not helping. And right now in Newport, we have a major problem that's continuing to grow and being very prolific in the city. And it's not just in certain neighborhoods anymore. It's in the middle of downtown. It's in affluent areas. It's in lower affluent areas. It's everywhere. If we're trying to, we want to encourage people to get better, absolutely. But I just want to make sure we're being smart about doing this. So we do offer as a city many steps for people to come, whether you're homeless, jobless, what have you. You can get 3 meals a day. You can get shelter here in the cold months, in the hot months, and and that's great. That's well and good. But when are other people, other places going to step up? I don't want Newport just to be the sanctuary for everybody to be able to come down here and with whatever issues you have, because we have problems that we're trying to deal with as a city as a whole. And that's all residents. I'm not talking certain neighborhoods. I'm not talking certain people, but I would like to see our city be cleaned up. So unfortunately, I can't vote for this. Until we have a better plan. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Napolitano.
this site is very restricted for a reason. It's the fire department, for God's sake. I'd like the director, if you could, explain they have to have a code to get the material. This is for the benefit of those that are unaware of the reasoning behind it. Thank you.
Do I need to say my name and address?
Yes, please.
Melanie Saunders, 130 Austin Road, North Kingstown.
Can you speak up, please?
So it is important to note that the reason why participants who want to receive anything from this vending machine need to be a client of ACOS, and I have Ray here who can speak more to the back end of things. So harm reduction needs to work simultaneous to prevention. We are not expecting a harm reduction vending machine or a public health vending machine to solve the problems of Newport. That it's actually a sort of a point of connection for ACOS to be able to reach out to that client and offer them services. And I can turn it over to Ray.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. May I?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you, Melanie. And I appreciate your passion for the issue. I note that you live in North Kingston, as you mentioned. Question for you. Have you petitioned, first of all, does the town of North Kingston have one of these machines located on city property, town property in North Kingston, or anywhere in North Kingston?
No.
Okay.
No.
Melanie, have you approached the town of North Kingston to put a machine like one that you are proposing for Newport in North Kingston? And if so, tell me about those efforts, please.
I have not, but I do know that there are machines available in Providence, in Cranston, and I believe.
No, I'm sorry,
West
Melanie, I
Norway.
didn't ask about Providence. I asked
You're
about
asking
North
about North
Kingston,
Kingstown.
where you live. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Right. Did you want to continue?
And I'm sorry if I don't know, what was the question? I got lost. I know we were talking about.
Yeah, what services that the machine's gonna supply?
Oh, what?
From your experience.
I'm so
What
lost.
services ACOS can supply for when someone has a code?
Oh, okay, yes. So clients of ACOS, we have two different main branches of ACOS, the prevention side as well as the case management side. Within the case management side, if they become a client of AIDS Care Ocean State, they could receive housing, mental health services, as well as a non-medical case manager. On the prevention side, we do all the things to prevent people from getting HIV and or Hep C, other bloodborne pathogens, which includes the needle exchange program, which encompasses the harm reduction and public health vending machines, HIV and hepatitis C testing, as well as our street outreach program and the Speakers Bureau. So that's ACOS in a nutshell, literally a small nutshell, but those are the things that we provide through promotion of the vending machines, I would say.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she wanted to follow. Did you want to?
I just wanted to add
Yeah.
one thing. So the needle exchange program is a program of ACOS, but there will not be any needles in the public health vending machine. I just wanted to make that 100% clear.
Thank you, Councilor Smythe.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask. And once again, I can understand Chair Holder and Councillor Carlin, your concerns, but we have already discussed this. Melanie and Ray have already come before us to explain the intent of this machine, that it is part of a pilot program to assist those in need, not just the homeless, not just those who have addictions, but say you're a single mother or single father that needs a little help with supplies for their kids. That this is just another mechanism. People in need are not always comfortable going to your typical methods to obtain these products. This just gives, I guess, for lack of a better term, a more sensitive manner in which they can obtain needed materials. But again, council has already debated this. This item
But
before
we are still
us
allowed to
is
ask
just.
questions.
Yeah, I
For sure.
understand that,
So-
but we're having the same conversation that we initially had. The resolution before us is for the placement of this machine, which ACOS, Newport Prevention Coalition, and the chiefs have already discussed, and they will be the individuals that will be working with city administration to determine what items go in the machine that is directly proportional to the needs of our community. I think that we should be giving our residents whatever opportunities that we can to help them and to potentially help them to move forward with life in a more healthier manner. So I want to thank Melanie and Ray for all your hard work. And I think that we need to move forward with a vote, please.
No, I do have a question still. So this is a year program we're doing. What is like the mechanisms that at the end of that year are decided whether or not this program is successful? To try to, are you going to do it for another year, things like that, and have you done that in other places, and what was the outcome?
I can give you a case in point of success and or failure of the machine. What we look at is typically just the data, how many transactions it is, how many unique people are utilizing the machines, because when we do enrollment, we're able to issue unique codes to clients. So we know uniqueness, time of day, what they dispensed, all of that. So in the issue of a failure or not successful vending machine, we had one on the ACI grounds at Harrington Hall, 1 year, 3 uses for the whole year. It wasn't worth the bang for the buck. So we removed that machine, we moved it to another location, it got utilized more. A successful look at a machine, the one that we have in Kodak and Providence, we end up refilling that machine 3 times a week. Unique clients, at least 40 or 50 clients, utilizing that machine in a week. And one of our most used machines, even more used than the one outside of my building, my office building. But we try to be adaptable and make sure we meet the needs of clients that we serve. Clients offered, suggested getting the hats and gloves and scarves, something we started adding to the repertoire. So we try to be adaptable to the clients as well as city and the folks that have the machines.
And your clients, if they get a code, they can use that at any machine, anywhere?
Any machine,
Okay.
anywhere, yep.
Mr.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Mr.
Other
Chair,
segment.
just a short, but how many people are enrolled in this program in Newport? Yeah, but do you have a number of people who would have, from Newport, who would have access to the machine?
Nobody in Newport currently has access to the machine. I currently have 4 clients that I've seen in Newport.
Okay.
But they don't have access to the other machines. We haven't issued them a code yet.
Okay, so you're saying that maybe 4 people would.
4 people will
Would
currently
be
clients of ACOS will have access to it, yes.
And this might seem like a strange question, but is success not using the machine, or is success using the machine?
That's the conundrum in the prevention world. Obviously, when I'm doing HIV testing and I tell the Department of Health, oh, we had 0 new infections today, we found 0 new clients. That's a success, but at the same time, we're tasked with the goal of trying to find or newly identify people living with the virus. So in the prevention world, in terms of overdose prevention, we don't want people to use the machine, but we want them to have access to it so that if an overdose does occur, or if they need any of the basic needs that they have it available for them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Councilor Tsai.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to be supporting this, and I just want to remark something on the asymmetry of what we're dealing with when it comes to approving things like this. People in our communities are in an enormous amount of pain right now. We hear about it all the time through the lens of things like inflation. We're seeing it with deterioration of basic things people rely on. And healthcare is one of those spaces where the pressure is extreme. I mean, you look at the individual we have in front of us, they spend an inordinate amount of their time, hours beyond what most of us would work in a normal week, trying to be out there helping people across this entire state. The fact that we're going to have to use a vending machine as a way to reach people, they would much rather be providing those services in person if they could. And so for a group that is trying to do good, that is well within the realm of what is decent from a societal perspective, for us to take them through what is in excess of a 6-month process for approval of a vending machine, when in a fraction of that time we would have approved a hotel or a new bar, should be a big indication as to why we have so many problems right now and why people are so angry at government and our inability to move forward on the things and the solutions we need to actually help people in this state that are feeling an enormous amount of pain. And so I've kind of sat here quietly out of frustration. I'm going to be approving this. I commend my colleague, Steph Smythe and Ellen Pilnock for supporting this because this is the type of work that we need to be doing much more quickly than we are right now if we're going to make sure that people keep living in this place.
All right. So let's go to the votes. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? It's 5-2-4. Support it.
Next, action item 6660. The Department of Public Services recommends awarding the historic gravestone restoration and resetting contract to the sole bidder, Beyond the Gravestone LLC of Stores, Connecticut, at an hourly rate of $150 for a stone conservator plus materials. The award shall be for a 3-year period. Annual expenditures shall not exceed $100,000 as funding. CIP, cemetery endowments, grants, and donations allows. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Councilor
this is something that I have been supporting the cemetery restorations since I have been on the council, and I'm very happy to see these types of action items coming before us. I think it's very important for us to take care of our history. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's out.
Action item 6661, the Department of Public Services recommends awarding to WRF Designs of Plainfield, Connecticut for the continued storage of Easton's Beach Carousel in a climate-controlled environment for the term of 1 year for a not to exceed amount of $54,000. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Carlin?
question for the administration, please. Has any private citizen or citizens reached out to the city of Newport for or with an offer to assist in the restoration of, storage of, et cetera, the former carousel or the carousel formerly located at First Beach?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that, please?
I can tell you that there's an individual who is interested in starting a foundation, one of whose multiple goals will be to assist with the carousel. I don't want to reveal that individual for in deference to their privacy, but those discussions have been taking place, and we hope that they come to fruition.
When did the individual or individuals first reach out to the city?
Without it's been, my communications officer has been assisting with the process. I don't know precisely, but he first spoke to me about it 5 months ago.
How much is the storage and how much is the individual, or how much is the individual alluded to contributing toward what I mentioned, and how much are we paying now for the storage?
Storage is in the
54,000.
54,000 in the
All right,
council.
so we're paying $54,000 a year to house the carousel, correct?
Correct.
how much, as I just asked, is the potential donor alluding to offering for either current storage and future restoration, or current restoration and future storage, or whatever you want to call it? How much is the donor, the potential donor, offering to give us?
That amount is undisclosed. I will say.
Undisclosed to the public or undisclosed to you?
Undisclosed to me. I will say that one of the ideas is to kind of crowdsource it a little bit, looking for donations. But again, I don't want to get into too much detail because I want to protect the anonymity of the interested party while it's being established.
Mr. Chairman, we have to store this somewhere, but it's been months, more than 5 months, I might, and perhaps the manager does, or the communications director, we're not in touch collectively with the potential donor prior to 5 months ago, but I believe the potential donor or donors reached out well over a year ago, and this is costing the city quite a bit of money to store. It's a great venue. It's a great, I should say, purpose. We need to store it. But as to why we haven't solidified this yet, I'm puzzled, like many other things, with respect to private donors who reach out to the city and offer their assistance, financially and otherwise. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Action item 6662, the Department of Public Services recommends approval for the contract for the purchase of one 2027 Rasco Movo multi-function vehicle with attachments for not to exceed a total amount of $299,564.08 from Tri-County Contractors Supply of West Springfield, Massachusetts. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6663, the Department of Public Services recommends approval of the Protect Grant Agreement by and between the United States Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, and the City of Newport. This is the City of Newport was selected to receive a competitive grant to assist with the restoration of the cliff walk following the collapse that took place in March of 2022. To date, the City of Newport has executed agreements that have resulted in the securing of a congressional appropriation and RIDEM bond funds for to assist with the restoration project. The grant award represents the largest component of the funding associated with the overall project in the amount of $11,800,000. The grant award requires a local city match of the amount of $2,750,000 that is currently budgeted and approved by Newport electorate as part of the voter-approved municipal infrastructure bond during the 2024 general election. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Council Carlin?
Thank you. As it relates to this, I'm sure the public would appreciate an explanation as to where we stand with respect to the permitting process with CRMC now, this and other grants, federal and state grant-wise, as well as the city bond money and general fund money for that money, general operating budget money for that matter. And when the hell we're going to get this thing done? Thank you.
The permitting in question right now is with the Coastal Resources Management Council. They were largely in support of all but a small portion of the permit application. This has since been, meetings have since taken place between the commission staff and GZA engineers to come to a compromise. About 7 options were discussed. One is being honed in on, and we have every anticipation that this will ultimately be acceptable to CRMC and approved perhaps as early as the end of September. Then the 2 other permits that are dependent on the information and the outcome of the CRMC process, with the DEM and the Army Corps of Engineers, will follow quickly. At that point, with all of the capital stacks now aligned, we can begin the process of bid, and ultimately there's a very reasonable opportunity to commence work as early as next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Manager Kennedy. Question as a follow-up. Perhaps the public knows, perhaps not. Perhaps the council knows and perhaps not. There was an objection by an abutter to the portion on the Narragansett to Webster or Webster to Narragansett part of the cliff which collapsed into the sea, to what the city was asking of CRMC. Have the owners of the property or their representatives agreed to remove their objection to the city's request before CRMC?
I would not characterize it as an objection, more so a concern. However,
Excuse me 1 second, I apologize. You wouldn't characterize it as an objection. But the minutes of the CRMC meeting note that it was an objection. Has something changed since then?
no, that it wasn't an objection in the sense that
They objected to the plan that the city put forward. Has something changed since then?
no, that's
No, they had certain concerns about the restoration work and the ability to support an historic bridge that they had. So the city did go forward with plans with what they wanted there, which wasn't, I mean, engineering wise was not unreasonable. At the last CRMC meeting, the CRMC asked everyone to go back because the staff didn't like some of that the staff objected or sent in recommendations objecting to this, I'm going to call it a stub, that would be part of the restoration work, kind of connecting it. And based on that, CRMC asked that the city was willing to do it without it, but because the property owner was asking for this, we agreed to do that. Now, once CRMC didn't like that, they asked us to go back and meet with staff and the engineers and come up with some other options. Now, they've done all of that. The engineers have looked over the work and have come up with options along with the CRMC staff. So as the manager suggested, it looks like it's on track for the next, once CRMC sends further notice, we'll be on track to be hopefully approved by the CRMC. So the property owners did not object. They just wanted a certain design that the city did initially put in with their plans. And then after that, with the CRMC pushback on it, we started with a different plan now, which would, based on what the engineers and the staff came up with.
Thank you for the explanation, both of you. And forgive me for characterizing it as an objection. Let me be much more specific. Did the property owners allude to the city and CRMC in writing or otherwise that the property owners would object to the city of Newport using access to their property as a way to fix that portion of the cliff unless the property owner's demands with respect to a certain rebuilding included public funds?
I wouldn't say, no, the property owner have been cooperative all through the process. When it seemed like that they might not be able to have that stub, and forgive me, this helped support an historic bridge they had from their property over the cliff walk. So they there was a suggestion that the property owner may look at the city's use of it. I mean, they really thought that this should be done. After the fact, they agreed, after the CRMC hearing, they agreed to meet and come up with a different plan, and they've been cooperating. They've allowed us access to property before this, during this period of time. So I would not say that they, for lack of a better term, was trying to hold us hostage or anything. It was just.
Oh, I appreciate that. I didn't use the phrase hold us hostage.
No,
but,
I did, Counsel.
But what I would like to ask is, in a hypothetical world, if CRMC were to approve tomorrow the city's design, will the property owner allow the city access to their portion of the property, which leads to the rebuilding of that section between Webster and Narragansett of the cliff?
Yes. And as part of the Federal Highway Administration funding for the grant in that, we are going through the easement process right now. So they have been cooperating.
Thank you both again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's that.
Action item 6664, the Department of Public Services recommends awarding the pavement markings contract to K5 Corporation of Rockland, Massachusetts, based on the submitted bid proposal for the associated work. The cost of this work will not exceed the total amount of $76,391.20. This total price includes $59,650 for anticipated contract construction work, $1,741.20 for police traffic control that will be paid for the city, and $15,000 in project contingencies. I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Action item 6665, the Grants Office within the Department of Resilience and Sustainability, in collaboration with the Police Department, recommends that the City Council authorize acceptance of an $8,825 grant award from the Department of Justice and administered through the Rhode Island Department of Public Safety. Grant funds support the purchase and distribution of individual first aid kits to all active officers. This program will be funded through the grant. There is no match requirement, and the department will not use any city budgeted funds. I move approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Action item 6666, the Grants Office within the Department of Resilience and Sustainability, in collaboration with the Police Department, recommends that the City Council authorize acceptance of a $16,107 grant from the U.S. Department of Justice. Grant funds to support the Newport County Special Response Team, which seeks to implement LETS Respond and a state-of-the-art communication system for its regional crisis negotiation unit. These funds will supplement overtime for officers participating in the 2025 Quality of Life Program, enabling the strategic identification and policing of criminal activity throughout the city. The program will be funded through the grant. There is no match requirement. I move approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Action item 6667, this is a recommendation to adopt the amendments to chapters 13.08 Sewer Service System, 13.10 Industrial Pretreatment, and 13.12 Sewer Service Charges as set forth in the current corrected clean ordinance draft. Authorize the Department of Utilities, after ordinance passage, to complete the public notice and comment process for the formal pretreatment program modification under RIPDES permit RI 01000293, and to submit the adopted ordinance notice record, responses to comments, and required certification to RIDEM for final approval. So we're going to take these separately, right?
The chapters.
The chapters, right. So a motion to approve amendments to chapter 13.08.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. A motion to approve adoption of amendments, Chapter 13.10.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. And motion to approve amendments to Chapters 13.12.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. All right, moving on to resolutions. Next, rescheduling the regular city council meetings in September of 2026. Resolved that the regularly scheduled meetings of September 9th and September 23rd, 2026 be rescheduled to September 16th, 2026 and September 30th, 2026 due to the 2026 primary election schedule. The Council of the City of Newport meetings shall be held in the council chambers at 43 Broadway. I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. This one is mine. Okay, thank you. This is a resolution that I think I'd like Aaron Donovan Boyle to come on up and help explain this a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit of it while you're coming up. Whereas the City Council approved the fiscal year civic grant contract award in the amount of $15,000 to the Newport County Development Council to support regional economic development and business attraction initiatives. And whereas since 2019, the City of Newport has partnered with neighboring municipalities through the Newport County Development Council to advance coordinated regional economic development efforts that benefit the city, its businesses, residents, workforce, and tax base. And I'll move to the resolve that the City of Newport hereby appropriates an additional $10,000 from the fiscal year 2026 general fund contingency account to supplement the fiscal year 2027 services grant contract award to the Newport County Development Council, increasing the award from $15,000 to $25,000. I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion?
It's my understanding that there was a bit of a budget cut based on the civics awarding of funds, and I offered to bring this forward because I think this is an important program for the chamber and this group to give economic development support to the city. So if you want to just explain a little bit.
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Erin Donovan Boyle. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Newport Chamber of Commerce, which is a 501c6 organization that serves about 1,000 members throughout the Greater Newport region, which includes Newport County and Bristol County. Additionally, I am the executive director of the Newport County Development Council, which is the 501c3 arm of the chamber. Through that arm, we have been conducting business under Connect Greater Newport, which is the Regional Economic Development Division. I have been in this role for 11 years now, hard to believe. But when I came into this role, it was a request by the municipalities for the chamber to take on this role to support regional economic development, to help support the staffs within each of the different communities with both business retention and attraction. So since we have taken over this role, we have partnered with the city to the tune of $25,000 each year, in addition to leveraging additional funds from all of the other municipalities in Newport County, as well as philanthropic support and private sector funds. So through that, we have built a very robust program where we're able to develop a competitive economic development strategy for the entire region. We have a full-time staff member dedicated to business outreach to both members and non-members alike in all industry sectors throughout the entire region. We have done a number of different economic impact analyses and different reports focused on issues that impact economic development. Some examples include the broadband study, which has leveraged $125 million of Cox investing in the region, an additional $125 million of federal BEAD dollars coming to the state of Rhode Island, with a primary focus of Newport County and Bristol County, getting our broadband fiber speeds up to par for what the new requirements are, but also preparing us for the future workforce. We've also done a housing report, which has taken a look at the entire region with a specific focus on Aquidneck Island to focus on what the projected needs are from the business perspective for not only meeting existing business needs and their workforce, but future potential growth, highlighting and articulating that we need close to 10,000 new units of housing throughout the region to support current status and projected growth from existing businesses. Since we have done that, we also have the expansion at the base with NOAA jobs and Coast Guard cutter jobs coming as well. So even more growth is anticipated. We are just about to wrap up a commercial real estate analysis, which takes a look at, again, the entire region and points to a very low percentage of open office, commercial, and industrial locations in the region, which could potentially hinder any sort of future economic growth. We will follow that up with a phase 2 study that will make some recommendations for consideration throughout all of the municipalities for areas, targeted growth, areas where we can target growth so that we can have a good balance between both residential and commercial opportunities. So those are some examples of what we have been able to do with the funds that we've leveraged and the program that we've developed over the course of the last, I guess, 7 years now, because it was launched in 2019. So we do have a robust funding mechanism from multiple different sources and relationships with those different sources that we have grown over the course of this program, all of which are, significant and enable us to leverage additional dollars. We also just received a Department of Defense award for $675,000 or thereabouts to help do some future island planning to help support the efficiency and effectiveness of Naval Station Newport, especially as it grows, and in ensuring that it doesn't encroach on the local municipalities and what we can do to do that. So I guess my point is the relatively small investment, but compounded over the course of many years, has been a significant impact to leverage additional dollars so that we can look at economic development from a regional perspective comprehensively and really help prepare residents, leaders like yourself, and our business community for future work.
So to
Thanks, Sarah.
boil it down, it's a good bang for the buck.
Yes, I agree.
Council Napolitano?
No, I'd just like to thank you and the Development Council over the years. A lot of people don't realize that we do work with all the communities on the island. We do work with Middletown and Portsmouth on various things for business, for jobs, for housing. And really, what you've been able to garner for Newport County has made a difference. And particularly, with the Wi-Fi and people don't realize it's not a sexy subject, but boy, we've gotten a lot of money through them working, and I'm saying the Newport Development Council working with the other communities, and it has benefited the other communities too. So you're kind of an unsung hero. Thank you.
I appreciate that. There's still a lot more work to do,
Yep.
but I would want to just reiterate, the other municipalities also do contribute to the funding mechanism that we
Right.
have developed over the course of the years. Having a predictable funding model is also really important so that we can develop that program of work and execute. Without knowing, short-term reduction in funding, halts progress that we're able to work on. So the additional funding that would take us back up to that original 25,000 would be greatly appreciated and put to good use.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. And thank you, Aaron. Question for my colleagues, Councilor, former Mayor Napolitano, and Vice Chair Segley, if I might. Stupid question. I know the answer to it. But both of you were the only ones on this council who were on the council when the council was organized and funded. Are you pleased with the progress, Gene?
I am, yes,
Lynn?
absolutely.
I will very much look forward to voting for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.
Next, resolution supporting the implementation of the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker Project. Counselor Smythe.
I'm just going to read a couple of the resolves. So resolve that the Newport City Council hereby expresses its support for the implementation of the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker Project as conceptually designed and presented to the council on July 22nd, 2026, and recognizes the importance of commemorating this significant chapter in Newport's history. And be it further resolved that the City Council supports the placement and dedication of the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker location between America's Cup Avenue and Thames Street at the parcel of land between Mill Street and Cotton Court, subject to applicable state approval requirements. And be it further resolved that the City Council encourages continued collaboration among city departments, the Tree and Open Space Commission, community organizations, historical institutions, educational organizations, and project representatives with the Rhode Island Department of Transportation to facilitate the successful implementation of the project, inclusive of any minor alterations to the design as needed. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr.
Counselor
Chair.
Segler?
I just have one little change that I would like to see in the resolve that Counselor Smythe read, and that it says to facilitate the successful implementation of the project inclusive of any minor alterations. I think that's a subjective word as to what minor would be. So I think that if we could just strike the word minor, I think it would be more accurate. I'm not sure what minor means. It doesn't mean the height. Does it mean the size? Does it mean, what does it mean?
I mean, I'm happy to strike that if that is the preference.
Okay, that would make me more comfortable. Yes, motion to strike the word minor.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Otherwise, I am in support of this.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Carlin?
along those lines,
Before you go further, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for including all of us, diversity in the city of Newport. I love Newport.
We haven't passed this
Thank you.
yet, Ms. J.
That's good.
Thank you. Councilor Carlin?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Along those lines, Council Vice Chair Segley's point, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman, you raised at the last meeting, in which a very nice presentation was made, the concerns about the height, the width, for lack of a better phrase, of the project. By approving this, which I think we are all in favor of conceptually, and perhaps we're all in favor also of the location, but this does not indicate our support for the design as showcased at the last meeting, does it? That's an awfully high,
No.
awfully broad
Yeah,
design.
no, so this still has to go through the DOT, because there's obviously being the state road, there's a lot to do there. Council Sully and myself actually met with Steve White and Evan Smith last week and walked through where it was going to be, and we talked about the height, the width, and a few other things, and it was really a great experience, and I appreciate the time and the effort and that's been put into this. And I think once you get down there and actually see and get to and honestly get to feel what it's going to be like, it was is even more eye-opening than the presentation that they made. So there's still a lot of work to be done and decisions to be made, but this is just having us as a council approve this and go forward, so the group can get more information, especially from DOT, because there are some sightline issues and things of that nature. So, but overall, I'm glad to see this moving forward in a great way. All right. Any other questions? Anyone besides Ms. J, want to come up and have anything to say?
Sitting so patiently. She said it.
Mr. White?
It's helpful just to go over the design process. We're at a kind of schematic phase with design development and then construction drawings. We really appreciate all the input. We understand this is an iterative process. We look forward to the input. look forward to further developments. When you go to the site, you see there are things about the ground, the placement of trees, heights of adjacent, all kinds of adjacent. It's a natural process to continue to develop over time. And we look forward to continued development of the project and modifications that make a compelling project that everyone can be behind. We really appreciate all that process.
Thank you. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, last comment, and again,
Colonel
my
Stone.
appreciation, we have seen with respect to the development of a hotel or hotels in the city and the subsequent traffic and other issues that are caused by that, to put the project at a median between Thames and America's Cup. The question of erecting, constructing the memorial with respect to what that will do to not just Newport residents, but others traveling through as it relates to what I just said regarding the development of hotels is a major concern of mine as well. Let's not think that this won't, the erection of the project, cause a lot of concerns with respect to nearby vehicular traffic. So I want to make sure that when you deal, Mr. White, and anybody else, with the state, that those issues, and for that matter, that the city keep in mind those issues. Good project, tough concern. Thank you.
All right, any other comment? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have.
Next, establishing a temporary advisory committee on utility structure review. Counselor Smythe.
Again, I'm just going to read some of the resolves.
Excuse me, Counselor Smythe, before you start, you just need to go back and approve that
Oh, the
resolution.
amended, yeah.
As,
yes.
as amended.
That's right.
Sorry.
Thank
All
you.
right. So
Motion.
all in favor?
Sorry.
We approve, yeah. All in favor of the amended resolution, say aye.
Aye.
As amended.
Okay, all right,
good?
next, request, establishing a temporary advisory committee on utility structure review. Counselor Smythe.
Okay, resolve that the city council hereby establishes a temporary advisory committee on utility structure review, who shall solely serve in the advisory capacity to the city council and shall possess no policymaking, regulatory, budgetary, operational, or administrative authority. And be it further resolved that the committee shall evaluate whether Newport's existing utility governance structure remains the most effective framework for overseeing the city's utility enterprise and shall provide findings and recommendations to the city council with respect to the following: regulatory compliance and environmental responsibilities, long-term infrastructure planning, capital investment, and asset management, enterprise fund sustainability and financial planning, customer service, affordability, rate stability, and public communication, public accountability and transparency, regional service obligations and stakeholder representation, and legal, financial, and operational customer service, and implementation considerations associated with potential governance alternatives. And be it further resolved that the council shall undertake the following: examine how comparable Rhode Island and regional utilities are structured and governed, assess whether Newport's current governance model provides the level of focus, continuity, and planning capacity appropriate for a utility enterprise of this size and obligation, identify and evaluate alternative governance models against Newport's specific circumstances, including the consent decree, existing debt and contracts, resilience obligations, and the multi-jurisdiction service area. Consider how the current governance structure affects customer service, affordability, rate stability, transparency, and long-term infrastructure investment. Assess the potential impacts of governance alternatives on financial stability, borrowing capacity, bond ratings, enterprise fund integrity, and long-term affordability. Evaluate the trade-offs of each model, including effects on public accountability, ratepayer fairness, legal and financial exposure, and the practical pathway to implementation. deliver findings, and make a recommendation to the City Council, including the option of retaining the current structure with or without targeted improvements. And be it further resolved that the committee shall solicit input from customer and governmental stakeholders, including Newport and Middletown residents, customers in the city's limited Portsmouth retail service area, the Portsmouth Water and Fire District, Naval Station Newport, business and institutional customers, city officials, Department of Utilities leadership, and other stakeholders to ensure its recommendations are informed by a broad range of perspectives. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Well, looks like you asked.
I'm sorry. I know. I thought somebody else was going to speak first. What kind of qualifications would be looking for this type of committee?
So that is, I believe that was baked
It's on
into
page
this.
12.
Bear with me for 1 second. So it does say in the next resolve that the committee shall consist of 7 members appointed by the City Council, and to the extent practicable, the appointments shall collectively reflect experience or expertise or experience in utility or public works management, engineering or infrastructure asset management, finance, environmental compliance, law or public administration, regional coordination, and ratepayer or neighborhood interests.
Okay. The other question I have, I mean, that's a big lift for, and, we're having so many committees now, we're going to have to start a draft. So just be careful, people, but I just, should we, include, residents of Middletown and Portsmouth on this, because this is basically our regional utility?
It's not specific to just Newport residents. That's why that wasn't included in the resolution, so that if residents do live in other areas of the island, they can apply to this committee.
Okay. I'm on the fence about this. I'm going to vote for it, but I'm not sure it's something that will be able to be done by some residents. I think it's a big lift, but I'm going to vote for it just because I'm not really sure. So, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? I know Director Schultz is behind this, and that's all I needed to know. So, all right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
6-1.
Next, requesting traffic calming, pedestrian safety, and complete streets improvements for Memorial Boulevards. Councilor Smythe.
Okay. Resolved that the Newport City Council respectfully requests that RIDOT undertake a comprehensive traffic engineering, roadway safety, and complete streets evaluation of Memorial Boulevard with priority given to the corridor extending from Bellevue Avenue to Easton's Beach. And be it further resolved that the engineering evaluation include existing and projected traffic volumes, seasonal traffic impacts, vehicle operating speed and crash history analysis, pedestrian and bicycle safety assessments, crosswalk utilization, transient accessibility, ADA accessibility review, emergency vehicle operations, school and recreational access, and opportunities to improve multimodal transportation while maintaining efficient traffic flow. And be it further resolved that the evaluation consider the feasibility of implementing signal timing adjustments that provide additional pedestrian crossing time, leading pedestrian intervals, speed feedback signs, especially near the St. Michael's School, and any additional engineering recommendations that improve safety for all roadway users. And be it further resolved that the city administration request RIDOT identify available federal, state, and transportation safety funding programs, including Highway Safety Improvement Program, Safe Streets and Roads for All, Transportation Alternative Program, and other applicable grant opportunities that may assist in implementing recommended improvements. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Council Napolitano.
Yeah, I was a little surprised I saw this. only because the state did a study of Memorial 3 years ago, I believe. And Counselor Segley has been absolutely dogged with them in getting some of the improvements that were necessary. I just think at this point, I'm almost wondering why it came up, and then I know recently somebody was killed. But I think what some people miss is not only was the driver charged, unfortunately, the victim didn't use the signalization. So, it's I think this is a bit of an overreach on Memorial Boulevard. There are other areas that certainly, they could look at. I think there's areas down in the Fifth Ward where certain things are required, but a lot has been done on Memorial as a result. And I think they might be a little surprised all of a sudden if they saw this request again saying, hey, we just put in crosswalks, the signalization, and that sort of thing. I I think it's a bit of an overreach. I wish it were a different area. I probably could support that, but this I think has already, there are. I can tell you right now, Malbone Road. We get all the traffic now, and I know it's a matter of people doing the ways and the different forms for travel, and they tell them to cut through the neighborhood. So, I think this is a bit of an overreach for Memorial. I'd like to see perhaps another area, and I don't think the state would be receptive knowing that they had done this study before, as recently as 3 years ago.
Mr. Chair, if I can just provide a
Absolutely, yeah.
little background. So this came about obviously because of the recent tragedy, but I had been speaking to Representative Carson, who is working with Rhode to be able to provide further traffic calming measures to Memorial based upon what happened. And in order to I guess officially do that, she requested to have a resolution from council that would basically say that council is in favor of moving forward with engaging RIDOT again to see if anything else can be done.
Was she aware that the
Yes.
the signalization, which they put in for us and was working, wasn't utilized by the victim? She was aware of that?
Yes, that and that study had already been done, but it was just something was needed to be able to say that council is in favor of additional work being done on Memorial Boulevard or research being done to provide additional traffic calming measures in light of what had happened.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair.
Council Pinnock?
I'll take a quick one. Yeah, so Memorial Boulevard, I have just recently started using Memorial Boulevard every day because I'm running the camp. I use the Salvation Army kitchen. I didn't realize, Counselor Segley, I kind of owe her an apology because I always wondered like what the pushback was on the farmer's market. Like today, I wanted to get out and take the tents down myself. So like I get it. It's very
chaotic.
scary.
It's
It's chaotic. People are all over the place.
Yep.
Not just the farmers market. It's not about that, but just in general.
Right.
We have a lot of people walking up and down Memorial Boulevard, jogging up and down Memorial Boulevard to and from the beach. And it really is very dangerous. It's a dangerous strip of road. People want to get to where they're going, so not really paying attention. Coming out of those side streets like Rhode Island Ave, Gibbs Ave, like the amount of times I have to slam my brakes because someone has just jogged by without looking to see if there are cars coming. I probably can't even count. So I do understand both what Councilor Napolitano is saying, and the reason behind Rhett Carson asking for council to put forward another resolution, not taken away from the really hard work that Councilor Segley has done to make sure that Memorial Boulevard is a bit safer. It is greatly appreciated, but I do think that it could use a little bit more work.
Again, let me just say, I'm surprised that Lauren did not call me about this, since it's my district. I absolutely support improving safety on Memorial Boulevard. It's a very important issue, and I've spent a lot of time working on it. But I think before we pass another resolution, I think we have to have the public understand what's already been done on Memorial Boulevard and what should be addressed. So there's been significant work, including the pedestrian activated hawk signals and curb extension at Chapel Street, improvements at Edgar Court, crosswalk and pedestrian improvements, and extensive work with Rhode. These things didn't happen by accident. They resulted from years of advocacy and discussion and coordination. From 2012 to 2015, their work included bike lanes, shared bike lane markings, narrowing of travel lanes, new crosswalks, better crosswalk markings, pedestrian signals, ADA ramps, new curbing, resurfacing, and the hawk lights on Memorial as part of the significant improvement. There's also a new pedestrian hybrid beacon at Memorial Boulevard and Chapel Street, a curb extension at the crossing, a replacement pedestrian signal and curb extension, as I said, at Edgar Court, and solar-powered feedback signs along Memorial between Bellevue and Old Beach Road. As I said, I support improving safety, but after years of studies and discussions, I think that passing a resolution to ask for another study is not really the way to go. I think if we really want it to be safe, we need to discuss specific changes to the road, whether it's a traffic camera, let's say, whether it's something narrowing the road, taking parking away. There has to be something specific that we need to come up with that will help reduce the safety issues. Just doing another traffic study, I don't think that the state would even do one. And the reason why I say that is because I asked for a traffic study at Memorial and Bellevue for pedestrian crosswalks, and they said no. So, and I know that Lauren Carson was very upset by that as well. And because I think the way people cross there is extremely dangerous. So for asking for another study, I don't think is a meaningful change. And I think that we need to do more work on this.
Mr. Chair?
So that's where I am. I would love to work with all of you on coming up with other ideas and looking into what Rhode had proposed several years ago, which was roundabouts and narrowing the lanes between Rhode Island Avenue and Bellevue Avenue. They wanted to take down trees. They wanted to take out parking. And the city was uncomfortable with those changes. Yeah. But perhaps, we could go back and look at some of those changes and see if, the city and Rhode would be amenable to them. But just to say we need another study, I think it's just another it's an easy ask, but it's not really going to solve the problem. Thank you.
Councilor Smythe.
Thank you, Councilor Segley, and I can appreciate all your hard work. I did email this to you about a week before I submitted it to the clerk, just to gain your feedback after I spoke to Representative Carson. I'm more than happy to continue this to the next council meeting, and I would be happy to work with you on some revisions to it to make it more specific.
That would be good. And I'm sorry I did not receive your email. I'm sorry I did not. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So,
I can resend it to you just so that you have the Word document.
That would be great.
It.
And I'm glad you did reach out to me because, it's such an important area of the Second Ward that has gotten a lot of attention, but it continues to be a problem. And I'm very concerned about that farmers market. Every year I vote against it. and I know we can find a better location for it. The parking there is an issue. We've been lucky so far. But I think if we could continue this and work together on that, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Council side.
That was such a nice and civil exchange. Motion to continue.
Second.
I'd like to make a motion
Just soak
to
it up, you know?
All right, we have a motion to continue. Do you have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Kumbaya.
Aye. Thank you again. All right. Next.
Right.
Okay, we need to have a resolution to add stop signs to the corners of Bellevue Avenue, East Bowery, and Bowery Streets. Chairholder.
Resolved that the city, Newport City Council instructs city administration along with the Interdepartmental Traffic Commission, otherwise known as the ITC, to look into adding stop signs on Bellevue Avenue at the corners of Bowery and East Bowery Streets in an effort to help with the flow of traffic and for the safety of cars, bicyclists, and pedestrians. I ask for a second.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion?
Chairman.
Yes, Council Cowell, go right ahead.
Thank you. This is an issue that's been discussed online and many other forums, I'm sure, not the least of which is in person by residents of the city of Newport. And I found that it's a split opinion. Many people hate the fact that we will add additional stop signs. I'm not sure why, but I have a good idea why, and I don't blame them. Many people are very passionate about the addition of stop signs there. But yet others suggest that we also look into the possibility of a traffic signal at that location and additional police presence, in particular physical police presence, not any electronic devices controlled by the police. Any reason, Mr. Chairman, why we would direct the IDC to do, or the ITC, I should say, to do specifically, or to research specifically stop signs and not the other possibilities that I mentioned?
Well, we just did it down right down the block there from there on Spring Street, Young and Bowery, and it seems to work out really, really well. And I think a traffic light, I don't see that working at all. The stop sign will allow for a better flow of traffic in and out, especially the traffic trying to cross over from Bowery to East Bowery. It's really, part of the resolution that I mentioned, a couple of years ago, we had a food truck area there and we had to get rid of it because it was a safety issue. People can't see around the corner, can't see oncoming traffic. You have bicyclists, e-bikes now, pedestrians. There is a crosswalk there. There's also a bus stop there. So I think that having the stop sign will allow for a little bit more of a better flow. And so this is just asking the ITC to look into this separate from the current traffic study that's going on for that area as well. So I think this is and if it's something that we can try even as a temporary fix, and if it works, great, keep it going. If not, then we look into something else. But we don't need RI DOT to look into which is nice.
Appreciate that answer. And the city of Newport controls Bellevue Avenue as opposed to Memorial Boulevard, where we have to sort of bend to their will at the corner of Memorial and Bellevue with current traffic lights. But I would, and I don't want to debate the merits of the three things that I just mentioned. But what I will say is that unlike a stop sign, or in particular four-way stop sign, traffic lights, if they're timed correctly, specifically timed with the traffic light that I just mentioned at the corner of Memorial and Bellevue, have more of an effect on drivers and pedestrians for that matter, as it relates to, lack of a better word, patience. Stop signs are, and look, traffic lights are as well, but less so than stop signs. Stop signs are often subject to the momentary patience of a person who is at that stop sign, a driver or otherwise who's at that stop sign, versus a traffic signal. So Mr. Chairman, I don't know. Well, I do know. Thank you.
Yeah, well, this is just asking them to look into it.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
so if
I
they,
am
they
a-
come up with a different idea, better idea, whether it's a light or,
I am against the idea of the ITC determining that a stop sign four-way is appropriate at that location, which I share, which that location is shared between the second and the third ward residents, but we're a small community. If not done in collaboration with those other possibilities that I mentioned. However, I will vote to send this to the admin and the ITC. I just will, at the appropriate time when the ITC meeting is held or meetings are held, I will ask them to consider the other two alternatives or the other two possibilities as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
absolutely. Any other discussion? Good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Motion to adjourn as council and convene as Board of License Commissioners.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the consent calendar in its entirety.
Second.
All right, motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Under licenses and permits, motion to approve a 2025-2026 liquor license renewal Class BL NDC Enterprises LLC doing business as Norris, 156 to 158 Broadway. This is a hearing, Mr. Chair.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is anyone from the public who would like to comment or question? No. Any questions from the council?
I'm just happy to see that the business is
Yeah,
going to reopen.
me too.
So.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to close the public hearing. Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, aye, aye.